Bagaetsho tla re le amogele re ntse re le ko Mmabatho Convention Center ko Bokono Bophirima mona Mahikeng ka tlhamalalo re gasa TNA Business Breakfast Show, and we're taking your questions now on the issues that the Premier and the MECs have touched on. I beg your pardon. What are your views? What are your contributions? Questions that you have, additions to what they have already said. Your experiences, most importantly, because you live in those villages, you live in those towns, and you live in those small Dorpies. We're going back to the floor now, table number 26, and I am going to request that you be very, very brief so that we can take as many questions as possible. It's over to you, Mr. Botha.
Okay, thank you. My name is Hendrik Botha. My question is partly covered, but I want to ask the second one, especially I want to ask the Premier about the interlinkage of VTSD approach with the NWDC as well as the people's...
Mr. Botha, can I ask that you speak onto your microphone, please, so that you can be able to hear you?
Okay. I was saying I want to ask the Premier about the interlinkage of VTSD economy approach with the NWDC as well as the People's Economic Growth Agency, which recently announced about it. And the other question is in relation to YES, about the impact that has it done since it's enacted or legislated during the legislature sittings. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Table number 24, that's where APNA is seated. If you can just get the microphone to table number 24 for the question. Please keep it very brief. We're taking one question per person because I've got like thousands of questions here in front of me that I need to put to the Premier and the MEC. That time.
Thank you, Palesa. Good morning, Premier and MEC. Premier, recently I think it's between March and April, when the new system of database was introduced. I'm having a problem because I'm coming from Rustenburg. And the people who were involved, who were helping us concerning the issue of registering. Unfortunately, at the present time, most of the people that we met all the time, those people they are no more available to assist the people with registration of the new system. And another thing, the Premier alluded on the issue of government funding. Yes, it is true. We can't keep on relying on government funding. But now my problem, Premier, is I don't know which rule or which regulation can be introduced to different institutions, financial systems that can be regulated. So as our people can be helped to avoid this mentality of being funded by government. Recently, I visited one institution. I was talking about opening a business. I'm a contractor myself, but we can't keep on relying on one thing all the time. We need to assist our people also, and we must engage them. Yes, Premier. So when I was told that there are certain documents which are needed, but at the same time, they'll ask you about the collaterals and all that. Yeah. So it gives us a problem also, whereby we need to engage ourselves in different businesses. But because of the regulation that has been based on those institutions, it becomes a problem to us. Yeah. Thank you very much.
All right, Traiso, Premier.
Yeah, the MEC will deal with the question that relates to the registration of entrepreneurs on the database. One of the problems we have in this country is the conduct of banks. Because I'll make you an example, Palesa. If you come from a village, the policies of the banks are that, for instance, your land, because it's under the control of the chief on behalf of the people, you can use it as collateral. We've met with the banks and we've said to them, you will have to consider changing this approach, because there's no way our people are going to move away from the rural areas. So we said to the banks, that will have to change. But the other thing we said to the banks is that, why is it that you don't want to take risk? You want to be in business, but you don't want to take risk. Now, If the banks are committed to the total economic transformation of South Africa, the banks will have to take risk and say, we will offer you this money, we will work together with you, and not give you money and run away, and then the next thing your business collapses and so on, and they come and liquidate you. So the banks will have to say, we will work together with you. The banks must consider partnering with our people. But over and above this, we've spoken to the Northwest Development Corporation to say to them, because of this problem of collateral that the banks are demanding from our people, as a state-owned entity, we will have to come up with ways, and we've already started on that program, to say projects that people start on the ground. Government through the Northwest Development Corporation must then have to say, how do we partner with people? So that government brings some money on board, you bring whatever you have on board as a person in the village. Even if you don't have money, whatever you have must be brought together, and then we work together in a partnership through that project until up to fruition and growth and sustainability of the business.
All right, MEC?
Thanks, Palesa. Yes, registration on CSD. We will know as from April this year, if you want to do business with government, you need to get onto the central supplier database. So what we have done is we've gone out into the various communities. That was not a once-off, it's continuous. But further to that, what we have said is that local municipalities, the LED officers, should also be able, and we've engaged with them to assist businesses to get onto the database. We are in January going out on a drive again, right over the province, in all the areas, in all, in every municipal area, in villages, to get people registered onto the database. Currently, you can register on the database by going onto the website, Treasury website.
But we do know that majority of our people do not have access to the internet.
Absolutely, and that is why we're saying there is a drive that goes out. Setsukotsani is there. We have it, every Setsukotsani people can register onto the database. In fact, we've put up a kiosk these 3 days as well, where people can come, those who are in Mafikeng can register onto the database, as well as it's within the municipality. It is, in the LED unit, you will get assistance. Setsukotsani, you'll get assistance for those who have access to the internet on the website. And then this drive is continuous as well, right across. In January of next year, we will be going out on a massive drive as well. Those who are struggling, phone into the Setsukotsani hotline, and we will have someone to assist them.
And how effective is that hotline? Are people able to get assistance?
The hotline is very, very effective. It's an initiative of the Premier. It is manned 24 hours. All of us in Exco, on a particular second Wednesday of the month, all of us sit on our telephones ourselves. We take calls. We can be interacted with directly. But the hotline is there. We get questions that come through to us, and we respond. And as a way of monitoring, we also send reports through to the Premier's office.
So you do
on
have
a weekly
successful
basis.
stories
Yes.
that you can. All right. Now we're taking another commercial break. Do not go away, because when we come back, we'll be heading to the floor.